Hello everybody, I'm Oliver and this is Chaotic Bibliophile. I have been reading, I promise you, I have been reading, and actually I've been reading amazing things, but I have not been recording, and actually I have 3 videos on the go to edit, which is terrible, and I will get to them soon. One is footage from last year. It's insane, but I had a really rough couple months, as a lot of things that I was really worried about are sort of going now, and I no longer have to worry about paperwork or bureaucracy or whatever. At least for now, I've just had more energy and I'm just happy to be making videos, hopefully also watching and commenting on videos. I still listen to a lot of them. It's just that the commenting. Anyways, I'm going to try and do this really quickly, and also just not edit it very much. So it is going to be a little bit more over the place, but focus. Basically, last week was the Booktuber meetup hosted by Katie from Books and Things. I'm sure everyone here knows her, but I will still link her channel down below. It was an amazing day. We just went all over central London and it was just so fun and so wholesome. Book people are the best. So I bought books. To be completely honest, it is a lot. It's like, I think about 10 books, which is more than I should buy. But in my defense, most of these were on a list of book allowance that I made for myself. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let's start with We the Animals by Justine Torres, which I never knew was this short, but I first found out about this book in Literary Disco. They reviewed it. I'm going to link that episode down below. I don't know if I ever listened to it. Maybe I did. Sometimes I was really interested in reading the book. I would not listen to the episode just in case. So there are like 2 or 3 episodes that I never listened to. But anyways, this is considered like a gay classic, or like contemporary coming of age classic. It's about 4 brothers, and I can't wait. Also, I assume it's about like Latinx people, so that is also really exciting. I got this from Gaze the Word, and Jim, the owner, told me that Justine Torres has a new book coming out in November, I think, so what a better time to read it. This is Quiet by Victoria Adukwei Bulley, or Bulley. And it's a poetry collection which won the Rathbones Folio Prize, if I'm not mistaken. And another one of the collections that was nominated was England's Green, which I reviewed and actually read a poem from, and I'm going to link that video down below. And I was a bit salty because that is one of my favorite poetry collections of all time now. However, I did read one poem from this collection and it was so beautiful, so I cannot wait. I am saving both of these actually, plus the next one that I'm going to review, for Shorty September, because I am participating. I am going to give it a go and try and read 30 really short books in September, plus 2 books that I need to read for book club, but that's it. So hopefully that's coming. Also got On Connection by Kae Tempest. Both this and Quiet I got from the LRB bookshop. And I got it basically, I've been meaning to read it forever because I haven't actually read a lot of Kae Tempest or anything at all, but I saw them at Trans Pride and I just love their performance. But this is essays, and it's supposed to be great. I've heard it's great, but then Jen the librarian told Bob from Bob the Booker that it was amazing, and he was like, yes, I've read it, it's really great. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy it. And then I was carrying it and the barista at the cafe said, oh my god, that book is magnificent. And then one of the booksellers was like, yeah, that book is great. And someone else also remarked upon how amazing it was, the book. So everyone who saw me holding this book said it was great, basically. So how can you not read that? Waterstones picks from the Gower Street Waterstones, which is one of my favorite Waterstones, if not my absolute favorite. It definitely is my favorite Waterstones that is called a Waterstones, that it's not like a bookshop like Hodge Figures, for example, in Dublin, which used to be independent and then was bought out by Waterstones or Blackwells. Anyways, first, What I'd Rather Not Think About by Jente Posthuma, and this is translated by Sarah Timmer Harvey. I'm not sure from what language. Dutch. And this is about a twin whose other twin passed away, I think by suicide, but I'm not 100% sure. And so it's her thinking about her twin and his life and their conversations, and it sounds amazing. I've read a few of the fragments. It's very fragmentary, which actually is not necessarily doing it for me right now, but this just sounds amazing. And Willow from Books and Bows said it was really, really good, and I really trusted her judgment, so I am just really excited. Then I also picked up The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 3/4 by Sue Townsend. Okay, this might sound so weird because it does get shelved in general fiction, but it is known as a sort of a YA kind of classic. This is not a thing in Chile at all, so I never knew about this until I came here. And then a friend had a copy at their place, and they told me that, like, apparently this is a big thing for trans-masc people and like the coming of age aspect. And I started reading it and I thought it was really funny, and it's supposed to be really funny. And then I saw a post by someone listing like funniest books ever, and this was there. And I don't know, I just suddenly thought I should collect it. I'm in the mood for something like light. I'm definitely reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, at least 1 or 2 volumes for Shorty September. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I also picked up The Whole Story and Other Stories by Alice Smith. Alice Smith is one of my favorite authors of all time, but I purposefully don't binge her because I want to have material for years and years to come. And I know she's still writing, but she just did the quartet, and I don't know. I am reading the quartet. I'm starting it this year. I'm doing the thing where I'm reading it in autumn, and then the next one I'm reading in winter, and blah, blah, blah. I was feeling something. I didn't know what. I started reading the first story here, and I thought it was lovely. So I was like, yep. This is another friend recommendation, and it's The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. I am in the mood for crime fiction. I am in the mood for noir fiction, or maybe a little bit of true crime. So if you have any like spectacular recommendations, please throw them my way. I remember reading Mildred Pierce, and I really, really loved that one. I haven't read tons. For example, I could get an ALC for the new Adrian McKinty book, but for some reason, when I read the summary, it's like, oh, do I really want to read about this? But then when I read a short story by Adrian McKinty in Being Various by Lucy Caldwell, which is an amazing Irish short story anthology, you should check it out, I was like, this is freaking amazing. He's amazing. So I should pick it up. It's just I don't. So please recommend me. If you tell me like this book is really great, well, I shouldn't really pick up more books, should I? But I might if I like I see it secondhand or whatever. Just like recommend me things. I also have the Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz on my Holds at the library to listen to it. So I don't know. I'm just trying things. I'm not like going down a crime rabbit hole, but I certainly am feeling a little bit of it. Then, oh my god, this find, I am so proud. This is Groundskeeping by Lee Cole, but it is an American edition, which is just so much nicer because it has the exact amount of flop, and also it's like skinnier than, sorry not to fat shame books, especially because I do like big books, but the Favor edition is kind of like tough, and I don't know, this one I like the material, I like everything about it, and I found it secondhand. It was so cheap at any amount of books. Another book I am just so happy to finally have, but I'm so happy I waited, is Rainbow Milk by Paul Mendez. I found this secondhand at Gaze Award. Gaze Award has like a really small secondhand section, but I found time and time again newish books that I wanted to read in great condition, and they are really cheap, and so I'm like, this is amazing. The only thing I know about this is about a queer man who was raised Jehovah's Witness and he's escaped, and I think he's looking back. I don't know what the relationship with his family is, but I think I've mentioned a couple of times that I'm a queer man raised Jehovah's Witness. Part of my family is still like an active member of the community, so I'm always interested in these sort of narratives. The last book I picked up at Gaze the Word was Diary of a Film by Niven Govinden. Is this translated as well? No, it's not. I think I just thought that because this is set in Italy, I want to say. Basically, it's about a director who I think is gay, and he meets a woman who has like this amazing story, and he thinks, oh my god, I must make a film about this, but apparently like that's not the great thing to do. It says it's about like storytelling and film and who gets to tell what stories, and so it sounds fascinating. And also I opened it here on chapter 4, and it says Gabi had been unable to find the non-fiction but had produced the novel and a small book of short stories. There were 2 copies of the stories, one in French and one in Italian, both hardcovers. The novel, a paperback, was in Italian only. I know for some people that might be, oh, this sounds terrible. But for me, the idea of just creativity and art and what we write and how we write, I'm obsessed with all of that. So this is just so right up my alley. The only thing is that every chapter is just one long paragraph. So it's a commitment, then that has implications for like, can I take it to public transport? Or I don't know, first world reader problems. Then I bought a book in Spanish in foils. It's about Pedro Lemebel, who you know I love. If you want to read something by him, he's an iconic queer Chilean writer. His novel, My Tender Matador, is translated into English, and now it's quite easy to find. There was a time where it was a kind of out of print, but now it's being reprinted. But I know that there is nonfiction in the works, and I am so excited that his nonfiction is going to be available because that's where he really shines. So I'm just going to be binging a lot of his works, and I'm probably going to read this soon as well because I might write something about him. Who knows? Lots of things going on, guys. And the last book that I want to tell you about was a book that definitely was not on my list, but I found it and it was really cheap and it sounded so right up my alley. I couldn't say no. And that is 20 Minutes in Manhattan by Michael Sorking. This is psychogeography. It's meditative. An architect goes every day out of his apartment and thinks about architecture and space. And I started reading it like in the shop to see if I would get on with the writing and stuff. It seems like I will. You know, I love New York and I love psychogeography. So I'm just really, really excited. I don't know when I get to it though, because there's a huge list. But today I get to take a bus for an hour, so I'm going to be reading. I hope you're doing great. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been hauling. That's all. See you next time. Then I also picked up The Secret Ray. Let's do a thumbnail. Oh, shit, no. No, oh my god. Why is everything falling apart? There we go.